Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. If you can actually see me, just leave a comment if you can. Okay, okay, so we're still waiting for other people to join. We have two people here, so let's wait a few minutes for others to join in. Leave a comment if you are here. Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. Just leave a comment so I'll know who. Okay, we have three people on the call, so let's wait a little bit for others. Okay, so welcome to the two people on the call. You're so welcome. Okay, so welcome to today's webinar on taking the first step in tech. Why the webinar is why tech is important for children, parents, and educators, and we're so excited to have you here. Okay, my name is Chioma, and I'm the community manager for STEM4SDGs, and I'm the host for this session. Okay, so would like to before we start, we'd like to I like to get to know the people that are on live. Okay, you can actually leave your name on the comment. You can actually leave a comment. And if you have questions also, you can also post it on the comment, and you can also leave a comment if you are okay. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, I don't know if you guys know what technology is all about. So I like to ask a question, okay, before we start. Anyone can answer by leaving a comment on the comment section. So basically, what is technology? I'd like to know what is technology, or rather, I want to introduce what technology is. You, oh, Jesus. Okay, so what is technology, first of all? Okay, so we all know that technology is shaping our world, and it's more important than ever for kids, for parents, and educators to embrace technology. Okay, so today we have a guest who will be joining us. Okay, and he'll be telling you guys more about this webinar. It's going to be quite interesting because he's going to share a whole lot with you guys about technology, and based on the topic, he's going to share a lot on how you can actually take your first step in tech. If you know you want to start tech, you want to get into tech this new year, and you don't know how to start, or maybe you're confused and you don't know how to go about tech, whether you are a parent, or whether you're a student or a teacher or an educator. Well, all these questions, all the confusions will be answered in today's webinar. Okay, so we have a speaker whose name is David Adeosun, who is going to be speaking on this topic. Okay, and David Adeosun. I'm going to just give a bit of who David Adeosun is. David Adeosun is a tech content creator, and he's also a drone pilot, and he also owns a tech show. Yes, so that is who David Adeosun is. And in this webinar, we'll be covering why tech education is crucial, and how you can get started, and how to introduce tech and make it fun, in a fun and engaging way. We're going to introduce tech in a fun and engaging way. And I would like you guys to stick around to the end, and then you can actually answer questions, or that you can actually ask questions rather, and we'll be answering it. And yeah, there might be a bit of, maybe there might be prizes to be won. Okay, it's a probability there are prizes to be won. Um, let's wait a minute for our speaker. Oh, welcome, Abdullahi Adepoju, and welcome, Adedayo Timitope. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're so welcome. So before our speaker joins, you can actually leave questions. If you have questions, you can actually ask questions on the comments. You can leave your questions before our speaker joins. But before anything, I don't know, some of you might not know about STEM for SDGs, so I'm going to give a little bit of intro about STEM for SDGs. Okay, so STEM for SDGs is a body, okay, whereby we educate people on tech, on science, we rather we help. Okay, sorry. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's nice, Abdullahi Adepoju. That's really nice. That's a nice one. Okay. Okay, so I don't know. I know some of you might not really know what STEM for SDGs is all about. So I'm going to give a brief intro of what STEM for SDGs is. Okay, our speaker is already on the call. Welcome. Yes, so STEM for SDG is an initiative that aims to promote the use of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education to achieve the sustainable development goals. Okay, the STEM for SDGs are a set of 17 goals, or rather, the SDGs are a set of 17 goals that were adopted by the United Nations General General Assembly in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2023. So that's 2030. So that's the goal of, or rather, I'll say for STEM for SDGs. So we are under the SDG, rather, we are the fourth SDG, which is education, promoting education. So without further ado, let's welcome our speaker, David ADEOSUN, and he can actually hi David, welcome, welcome, you're so welcome, and we would like you to give a little bit of intro, rather should I say just a little bit of intro, and just let everyone know who you are, and just give a brief introduction of yourself. Thank you.
Can
Okay.
you,
Yes, I can hear you.
okay, my name is David Adeosun. David Events on social media, on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. I am a tech content creator. I'm a drone pilot. I'm also a drone enthusiast. I build some of these drones myself. I love hardware engineering. That has led me to a number of opportunities, one of which is joining you on this. So it's an opportunity to be here. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank
being
you.
here. So yes, that's pretty much what I do, and that's who I am.
Okay, you're welcome, and it's a huge privilege to have you join us on this call. So I would like you to share your journey in tech. Okay, I would like you to share a bit of your journey in tech, how you started, and what made you get interested in tech, if I can say.
All right. What made me interested in tech is what made me interested is I have to say I started when I was very young. I used to see airplanes in the air, imagine how they would fly, create hypotheses in my head, and
Okay.
I don't really say what particularly got me interested, but for sure what got me interested would be the fact that I used to see all kinds of gadgets. And just wonder, naturally be inquisitive as to how they work, and then that drew me to finding out whichever resource I could lay my hands on to see how does cars work, how does the engine work, how does airplane fly, things like that. And that natural curiosity led me to knowing everything I know today about engineering and tech.
Hmm. That's really nice. So, um, okay. So I'd like to ask, can you share a moment when technology made a big difference in your learning or career?
Okay, if I get you well, when technology made a difference in my learning
Yes.
career, is that what?
Yes.
All right, when technology made a difference, I would say it was when I got invited to Microsoft's ADC here in Lagos, in the island, and it was a crazy experience for me because usually I suffer imposter syndrome. I feel like I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, even amongst my friends, right? Some of these people are like, some of them work at NASA. I know Adrian works at NASA. Some of them work at Intel, and I just have this. I don't think I'm as smart as these people kind of mindset until I got invited to Microsoft, and I was like, maybe I'm not that. Maybe I actually deserve to be here. So that
Yeah.
was what made. And I got to realize that okay, maybe what I'm doing is making an impact, it's touching people, and yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I guess imposter syndrome is something that I would say I also suffer from sometimes. It happens, and definitely we just have to know when ourselves. So yeah, thank you for that question. Thank you for that answer, rather. And yeah, another question is, what advice will you give to students, or rather kids who are starting out in tech, or rather who has interest in tech?
All right, what advice would I give to students that starting out in tech, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It depends on the age group and the level of education. My advice will vary. But I'll just go to the step. I would say for people in their primary school that are trying to study tech, there's so many kid-friendly resources, online, kid-friendly. Uh, you know, they could um, expose themselves to, use to learn. And usually these resources are very basic. I can't ask an 8 years old boy to be learning coding using GitHub as a resource. You'll be very confused. So for that
Yes.
age group, I would suggest looking for age-friendly resources. Um, so yes, and then people in their secondary school now they are more uh, being more matured, right? And they could handle more material than the previous age group. So for that one, I would recommend a number of resources. I think it's the last question you asked me. I'm not sure, but I will mention. So if you're watching this, stay tuned to the end. If you want to know these resources, that would greatly help
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. So, um, how can teachers, okay, make learning more excited using technology?
Okay. How can teachers
Because
make learning
teachers,
more?
sorry, because teachers play a huge impact in the learning of this tech. So we'd like to know, like to know. I'm sure every other person would like to know how teachers can actually make this more interesting.
Practicals, 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 practicals. See, the Nigerian school, from the primary to the secondary to the university and polytechnics, studying is very, learning is very abstract. Here's what I mean. They tell you how um, things happen, how things work, but nobody really shows you. So
Yeah,
it's very hard to create a pictorial image in your head. And the human mind is very pictorial. It's full of images. That's why we have imaginations. That's why movies are so interesting than reading a
exactly.
book for most people. So, so those are practicals I believe are significant, but we don't take advantage of that in this part of the world. So if you're a teacher and you're watching this, the number one way to um, make learning more fun, make learning more um, exciting, more intuitive, is to use every practical way you can to see what you're actually talking about. That way, they are more physically involved what you're trying to teach them.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, practicals are very important because I believe that pictorial or rather pictures are or rather pictures sink into the head, into the brain more than words. Okay, so yeah, that is a good one. So I'd like to also find out, okay, what's one simple way parents can introduce kids to tech at home?
So can you take that again?
Okay, so what's one simple way parents can introduce kids to tech at home?
Okay. It depends. Tech is very broad. If it is to introduce them to software, that's not very hard, right?
Yeah.
Um, there are many, like I said in the beginning, there are many kid-friendly resources that could help these kids to start to learn about, one or two about Python. They can even, I know a lot of young children that build games even at their age. I mean, Elon Musk used to build his game in the 90s when he was much younger than I was, you know. So, yeah, there are many friendly resources that are even free, actually, that you can get your hands on to help your kids learn software, to get familiar with syntax, different languages. But it's for hardware. Hardware is a bit more complicated. That one is that's what I do. I'm not really sure how to advise on that, but there are also okay for hardware. I would suggest they build projects, right? Arduino is a big way to start to teach your kids hardware and to get them interested.
Okay, thank you. That's really nice. Yeah. I guess any tech I believe that anyone can actually go and get into any aspect of tech they want to get into, whether the soft one or whether the hard skills, anyone they can actually get into it. Okay, if
Yeah.
they put their mind into it and they're determined, yeah, they can. So another question I'd like to ask is what's the biggest misconception people have about getting into tech?
The biggest misconception I would say is tech is hard. No, it's not. Especially software. It's not. I don't know why people would say that, why people think that, but that's so untrue. Learning to code, don't let anybody deceive you. It's not hard. They are 9 years old in the US. In
Yeah.
fact, 9 years old in Nigeria today that are building a snake game. Coding is not hard. Learning coding is not hard. Obviously, there are more languages that have more intricacies to them that are a bit more complicated than, let's say, something like Python or something like Ruby or even HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. There are languages that are way C++, for instance, is not very intuitive. Uh, even Java. So it depends on what you're trying to learn.
Is it my network or okay? So I guess maybe there was a glitch in network. Okay, there's a glitch in network. So yeah, I guess while we wait for our speaker to come back in, okay, so I'll just talk about. Okay, guys, it's about to rain here, so everywhere is quite dark. So, but I don't know if you guys can. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about more about STEM for SDGs. Okay, so yeah, STEM for SDGs. What we do basically is we try to help kids who would want to kids who are in the STEM classes or who are in STEM classes or are in STEM. Okay, we actually do outreaches here at STEM for SDGs. We go to schools, we talk to them about STEM, not just tech. Okay, that's one misconception. We're not just based on tech alone. We also do things on relating to climate change, just STEM in general, anything that has to do with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay, these are what we do as STEM4SDGs. And we also have a WhatsApp community for students where we have volunteer teachers, or whether we have teachers who teach STEM subjects, whether biology, physics, chemistry, basic science, and all. And we also have that. So if you are interested, you can actually let us know, and you will definitely join it. Either you leave a comment, or you follow us on our on Instagram or Facebook, and you tell us, you show us your interest on you joining, wanting to join our community, and you'll be more than welcome to join us. Okay, welcome back, David. Um, welcome back, David, to the call. I guess you had a glitch in your network, right? Okay, and welcome back. Okay, so yeah. I don't think I remember the question I asked earlier.
Well, can you hear me well? Can you hear me very well?
Biggest misconception. Sorry?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me very well?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Okay.
Very
So
well.
I asked about the biggest misconception people have about getting into tech, and you were saying something about tech not being hard, or that people think that tech is hard, but tech not being hard, and how kids even up to 9 years old are currently learning tech.
Yes, that's true. I think there's a 19-year-old in the UK that raised about $1 million recently for his AI startup. If tech is hard, it's only people with PhD that will be doing it, but that's not true. You have 19-year-old high schoolers doing the game, raising um, about how much? 350 million naira, if I'm correct. So, sorry, 1.5 billion naira. Uh, so yeah, tech is not that difficult. If you already, it just requires a lot of tenacity, a lot of dedication, a lot of time, and if you can do all of that, you're good. You don't need to have straight A's in your Y or your jam to be able to break ties and be a better your in tech. So yes, it's not that difficult as people assume it to be.
Yes, funny enough, there was one time I actually wanted to learn tech, or rather, I actually learned how to code. Funny enough, I was doing, I think Flutter, yeah, Flutter mobile app. But at some point, I stopped. I stopped. Yeah, but it's actually quite interesting. It's actually quite interesting. Coding is actually fun, and it's not hard. Honestly, once you put your mind to it, you definitely scale through. So yeah, thank you for that one. So another question is, if someone wants to start their tech journey today, what's the first step you should take?
Number one is research. Research what you're actually going into. Research to see whether what you're doing is actually useful. There are many parts of tech that are going obsolete even today. Um, so make sure you don't just have a blind passion. People that just love it, but it's not going to pay your bills. So it's pretty much an hobby or a hobby. So number one thing is to do your appropriate research. Check what does it take to make it in this field. What does it take to be good and be exceptional? Because one of the things we are seeing in tech in general today is it's very oversaturated with very incompetent people. There are many people that know how to code. There are many people that don't. There are also many people that don't know how to code well. There are many people that know the Python language, but they cannot build basic, they cannot use basic LLMs. So there are so many caveats to this. So number one is to find out what the problem is.
Okay, I guess network is quite bad from David's end. But yeah, okay. Okay, so I guess David's network is quite bad. So but I'll continue. I'll continue saying what I was saying earlier about STEM for SDGs and what we do. So we also teach people tech in the sense that we have classes We have physical classes and we also have online learning classes for tech. So you can actually indicate interest. You can actually indicate interest to join if you would want to, and you're welcome. We deal with different. We actually learn. You can actually learn different tech skills from STEM for SDGs. You can learn coding. You can learn programming. Like, you can learn web design, web development. You can learn data analytics, cybersecurity. Yeah, these are some of the tech skills that you can actually gain from us. Our speaker went off because I guess his network is bad, but we'll wait for him. But as we wait for him, I would also try to speak about something about starting out in tech. Okay, what step you should take. Okay, so if you want to start out in tech, the first step you should take, like you said, is research. Knowing the aspect of tech you want to dive into. There's some aspects of tech that are already becoming obsolete, I guess, and there's some that are actually very, very rampant, like web development. And there are some that is actually coming up now, and people are definitely showing interest. We have tech skills like cybersecurity and AI. Yes, AI, machine learning, data science. These are other aspects in tech that people actually are getting into. Even data analytics as well. Yes, people are actually getting into data analytics. So the first step you should take, like what David said, is research. You need to make your research and know what aspect of tech you want to get into. Okay. Yeah. So now if you have questions, you guys can actually leave your questions on the comment section if you have questions, and would answer to as many as we can. Okay, you can actually leave your questions and we'll answer to as many as we can. Hi, David. Can you hear me? Welcome back. And I guess it's about to also rain where you are, if I'm not mistaken.
Why I'm having network issues. I really apologize for. I had to quickly
Fine.
switch
I
to
think
my
it's
laptop.
about okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Yes.
So yeah, guess we can continue from where we
Yes, I
stopped.
think this is fine now. My laptop is good. My phone is, I don't know.
Okay,
I'm sorry about that. We're good now.
fine. Okay. Yeah. Um. So yes, you were saying
All
things.
right.
I think I asked you about what you tell, or rather, if someone wants to start their tech journey today, what's the first step they should take? And you said something about making research. Yeah. So
Yes.
can actually
Yes.
continue
Yes.
from there.
All right, getting as much information as you can because when you're ill-informed, you make wrong decisions, um, and that could cost you time. And that's another thing is that I have to learn the hard way is make sure you're learning, make sure you specify. Okay, tech is so huge. I remember when I first started, I was trying to learn everything, and that took a lot of my time. I learned so much about everything, yet I knew nothing. All right. So I would
Hmm.
love
Yeah.
what I would advise, very importantly, is to specify. Know, okay, if you're going for um, if you're learning a language, know the module you're learning. If you're going for Python, know you're learning Python for AI. If you're going for C++, know you're learning it for game development because you could use these languages for different things. And if you're trying to, that could, uh, make you waste a lot of time, and then you put your energy in so many things. Just put all of your gun your energy in one direction and be exceptional in that line. So that's what I would advise. Do your research, number one. Number two, make sure you specify and know exactly one thing you're good at. You can't be good at everything. So yes.
Yeah, thank you. That is a really important point because like this old saying, "Jack of all trade, master of none." So yeah, that's true. You have to you have to know you have to
Right.
just be very specific and know the one that you want to get into. Yeah. So another question is um is there any free or affordable tech learning resources you can recommend? Yeah.
Yes. There's so many actually. Um, so it depends because of how broad um, software is, how broad hardware is. Um, there are so many, sorry, because of how broad tech is in general, there's so many resources that you could use to learn whatever you choose to learn. The number one resource, obviously, everyone knows about this, is GitHub. Um, but there's one that is not as popular, and that's called Stack Exchange. All right. So Stack Exchange, you can just Google it. Just put stackexchange.com, and to take you to the website. Just sign up. And what this platform is about is Stack Exchange changed my life. It's the reason I am what I am today. It's the reason I know so much about drones that I know today. It's the reason I know so much about aeronautics that I know today. It's the reason I can sit down and be like, okay, today the next project I want to work on is I want to build an actual airplane. And I actually raise money, which is what I did last year. And this next project I'm working on this new year. I can have that confidence because of the knowledge I got, not because I went to school to study aeronautics, but because I got access to aviation stack exchange. So depending on the line of tech you're trying to learn, so there's aviation stack exchange, there's computer stack exchange, there's electrical stack exchange, there's mechanical stack exchange, there's a stock exchange for, I believe, even for medicine. All right. So for whatever field you're trying to learn, there's stock exchange for it. Stock exchange, STACK, then exchange. To join whichever group you want, whichever group you're trying to learn and get good at. And what stock exchange, I beg your pardon, is all about is you go to the platform, any question you have, any technical question you have, you can ask on that platform and be rest assured that professionals will answer you. On Stack Exchange, I met aeronautical engineers that taught me what I know today. I met airline pilots. Now, there's your questions that you would have that maybe Google cannot answer you, maybe AI cannot answer you. You need someone on the field, in the field, that has the experience, that has the first-hand knowledge to answer questions like that. That is what Stack Exchange is. So yes, that's one of the resources, and there are many other resources. Stack is on YouTube. Um, what else? Freecodecamp.com and .org. That's also a resource that you could take advantage of. And then attend hackathons. That's another one. I need to take this advice seriously myself because I'm not a fan of going to, public events. So attend hackathons. You get challenged. You get to see people doing amazing things. You get inspired and pushed to do even more things yourself. So that's what I would suggest from my experience.
Well, that's a nice one. The one that I took was the Stack Exchange. Is it Stack Exchange or Stock Exchange? Sorry.
STACK, Stack Exchange.
Okay, STEC. Okay, Stack Exchange. Well, that's a good one. I guess that one is going to be so helpful for everyone because it's a free resource, right?
Yes, it
Okay,
is very free.
and it's very free. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's all the questions I have for you, and I'd like to say thank you. I don't know if everyone. I would like to check if there are any questions on the comment section, so that you can answer them. Okay. Okay, someone said, is a Stack Exchange a website or we just search on Google?
It's a website, and you can search on Google. Is You can search on Google because it's a website. Just the website. Just go to Google.
Website, okay, search on Google.
Just put Stack Exchange.
Okay,
Maybe if it's aviation Stack Exchange, you want to do electrical Stack Exchange. Just Google it, or you can use the URL stackexchange.com. Then you look for the whichever group or module you want to specify in. So yes,
okay, thank you. But someone also asked the question. The person said, does technology have modes?
okay.
I don't
Have
know
what
if you're
mode?
okay. Yeah, mode, yeah.
Like different mode of
Yeah,
technology.
different modes, yes.
Um, if I if I'm correct, I believe what the person is asking is the different age of technology. If that's the question, yes, there is. There are there's Web one, Web two, and Web three now. There are different levels to technology. You know, currently AI is the new trend. Not the trend, is the new reality. And so yes, one of the great, I guess, attributes of any person that's trying to last in this field is adaptability and teachability. You need to know and be humble enough to know you don't know everything. And then there's new information coming out every day. There are new streamline coming out every day that you need to get accustomed to if you're going to last in this field.
Wow, that's a nice one. Thank you so much. And I guess those are all the questions that we have for now. Maybe later there might be more questions. So this is all. But thank you so much, David. I don't want to spend so much of your time. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for taking so much for taking our time to share. And yeah, I'd like to say apologies for my camera. Yeah, it's quite dark where I am. So yeah, yeah, thank you, and it was amazing having you, and I'm sure the students that have been, or rather the people who has joined, or rather people who are still going to listen to this, will learn a whole lot from all you have said. Thank you. Um, okay, so yeah, yeah, we're back. Or rather, David, we had David on the call. Okay, let me. Okay, yeah. Um, let's okay, yeah. Minute, minute. I want to search for. So yes, it's never too early, okay, or too late to start learning tech. So if you want to learn tech, you can actually start now. And we are STEM for SDGs. we are going to make things easier for you. Rather, we have should I say, we have like a free platform, if I can use that word, in which you can actually start out in tech, whether you are in secondary school or wherever. You can actually start out in tech. We actually have a community on WhatsApp. It's a WhatsApp community where we teach people free. If you're in secondary school and you're a science student, you are under the STEM category. We actually hold lessons. We have teachers who teach you different subjects, whether biology, basic science, chemistry, physics. Yeah, we have teachers who will do that. So if you're interested, you can actually join us. You can leave a comment here telling us that you'd like to join, or you can follow us on our social media platforms on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and also on Facebook, and indicate interest in joining, and you are more than welcome to join. And we also have programs. We have online classes, and we also have physical classes. If you are interested in learning tech, we actually we actually train people, or our students, on different areas in tech, like machine programming, data science, data analytics, cybersecurity, and all. Yeah, so we actually do that. So if you'd want to, for a very affordable price, it's actually not pricey at all. So yeah, so if you have interest in learning, you can actually leave a comment or indicate interest on our social media platforms. I'll leave our social media handles on the comment section. I'll see if I can do that. So you can actually join us. You can actually indicate interest and join us. Okay. So I guess that is all for today. I don't know if David will have any other thing to say or to add. So David, do you have any
Nothing
other thing to
much.
say or to add? Okay.
I would just love to say thank you so much for having me. This was fun, and I hope everyone learns one or two things from our little conversation. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Okay, you're welcome. And thank you once again for taking our time to join us. Okay, I guess that is all for today. And yeah, till next time. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, everyone. Bye and have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful time. Okay. Bye.